Trading in Elite Dangerous is quite easy, but it can be a little bit overwhelming. In this video, I want to go over all of the aspects in trading, and I want to give you guys a very complete tutorial from beginner to trader to tycoon to elite in Elite Dangerous. At the end of this video, you won't be making 100 million an hour. That's just impossible unless you have the biggest ship in the game. That's not very easily attainable. I'm going to assume you're in a Sidewinder or a Type 8 or a Cobra or something like that, and 10 to 20 million an hour is very, very feasible. And once you have bigger ships, 100 to 200 million an hour is also possible. But this video will not matter what ship you have. Every ship is completely compatible with this tutorial. So it doesn't matter if you have a Sidewinder or a Type 8 or a Panther Clipper like I have in this video. Now, without any further ado, let's get straight into this video. Now, please don't be discouraged when you see the ship. This is the best trading ship in the game, the Panther Clipper. This method works with every ship. The only edge you'll have with a bigger ship is that you'll have more cargo capacity, so you'll make more money. So, let's go over this step by step from a beginner perspective. So you'll be in a Sidewinder, of course, and you'll be right here in your cockpit. So once you're on a station, what you have to do is you have to go to Starport Services. This ship has cargo space, and to alter that cargo space, you can go to Outfitting, and then in here you can go to your optionals. And then in your optional internals, you can actually change cargo space. So for example, you can take off your shield and then replace it with cargo space. You can do that and kind of optimize how much cargo space you want. And then all you need to do is go to the commodities market. So this is the commodities market. It looks a little bit crazy and overwhelming, but it's actually very, very simple. So all you need to do is you need to look at all these tabs. And essentially, this one is the amount, the item that they have in stock. Now, every system might have different items. This is the supply of these said items. So in this case, it's 31,275 tons of it. And this is the amount of tonnage you have in your ship. So I can carry 1,000 and 1,156 of these. And then this is the costs of this set item. And then this is the profit that you would make if you were to sell it at the galactic average. So let's say we buy 1,000 of these cobalts. It will cost us 1,000 times 2,700. And then we will sell it in Airvate for 12,000. We'll make 10 grand per item. And that's basically how that works. So it's a very simple system. But it kind of depends on which item you take, and then you also need to pay good attention where you sell it. Now, most traders use a app or a website called Inara, and this website you can look up what the most profitable run is for where you are at. So that's what we're going to do for this, because that just works a little bit better, and it's not that difficult to do. So right now we're in LHS 3447. Now, a little sidebar here. The reason why people use Inara is because in Elite Dangerous trading, you can have insane price differences. So, for example, you can buy silver somewhere for 1,000 and then sell it somewhere else for 40,000. And it's very hard to find those if you're just scanning through all the systems. It's nearly impossible because you have to fly everywhere. But Inara has all that data databased. So you can just look up where you are, and then it will give you the places that have those insane price spikes. All right, so let me show you how this works. Go to inara.cz, and then you will click on Trade Routes. Now in here, we are going to type in, for example, Sol, and it kind of just depends on where you are, so you have to do that yourself. You'll type in the cargo capacity you have. Yours will be lower than this unless you have the same ship, and then put the max price age at 8 hours. Then the max route distance I always put between 20 and 30 because I find that comfortable, it's easier. And then you also need to take care of, what kind of ship you have. So for me, it's always a large landing pad because I have a large ship. And then also you want to put the minimum supply at the minimum that you can carry maximum, if that makes sense. So for me, I'll put it at 1,000 because then I know that at least I can fill up 1,000 of them. Because if you put it at 100, I'll fly there, and then there's only going to be 100 units. It's not really going to give me a lot of money. So you want to put it at 1,000 or at whatever your ship has maximum, and then you want to include round trips, and then that should be fine. And then click on search, and here we go. So here we have, for example, for me, if I fly here, I can buy, if I fly to this sector, I can buy palladium for 48,000 credits. Now, fair, you need to have a little bit of money to be able to buy these, by the way, obviously. But, I mean, kind of, if you have a smaller ship, you also don't need as much to buy it because you don't have that much storage. But you buy these palladium, for example, and then I fly to tomorrow's harvest. I sell it for a lot of profit. Then I buy tritium here, and I go back and I sell that for also quite some profit. And then I'll make 31 million per trip and 137 million credits per hour. Now, which is insane, by the way. But this also means that it's only 13 light years of range between these two things. But keep in mind, I do have to fly 197 light years from where I am currently. Okay, so you have to keep that in mind, because if you're looking for one and then you have to fly, 2 hours to get there, it's not really, maybe not the best solution. So you have to kind of go through here and find the correct one. Now, this one is pretty good. Gives a lot of bonus because the power rating. But there's a lot of different ones. If you put this at 60, maybe you can find one that has a lot more. Now make sure that the minimum supply is always ticked in, because if this is at any, for example, what will happen now is that it will say you can make 233 million per hour, but the supply is only 428. So this doesn't really work because I have 1,000 in my car capacity. And this doesn't really keep that in mind. It just says, hey, if you can fill up your whole cargo space all the time, then this will give you 233 million credits an hour. But it won't, because there's not enough silver. So that's why I'm saying make sure that at least there's enough units that you can do at least one trip. Now, let's say we have a ship with 100 cargo capacity. Then you will be making much less, but still 2.2 million credits per trip, 10 million credits per hour. Still very significant. I mean, if you do this for 2 hours, 3 hours, you can buy a Type 8, and I believe Type 8 has something like 450, and then before you know it, you'll be making 50 million credits. You can buy, a Type 9 in 2 hours later, and then before you know it, you'll be making 77 million credits. Do that for a few hours, you can buy the Pentaclipper. Alright, now we'll do a full trading trip. I'll show you guys how to get from one station to the other and everything in between. And if you guys want to leave me a like and subscribe, that would be absolutely amazing. So if you guys would consider doing that, that would help me out a lot. Alright, let's get right back into this. Alright, so now we are in the ship, in my case in the Pentaclipper, and I just got a little trade ready, a very simple trade, just to show you guys how it works, to Ombam Bivas Cannon Orbital. So what you want to do is you want to go to your galaxy map now, and you want to find the place you're going. So in my case it's Ombam Bivas. There we go. Took a little bit. And then in there I want to go to Cannon Orbital. So let's first fly there. And now that you've selected where you want to go, you can just double click on it, hold it, and then you want to click on auto launch. And now your ship is going to be launched outside of the station. If you have a autopilot system in your ship, it will actually take you right out of the station. You don't even have to do anything. Although I rather have it actually fly myself, because I think that's more fun. But I do have it because it is useful with a really big ship. If you have done a lot of trades, that you can sometimes just... Ooh, there we go. You can sometimes just let it auto land and stuff like that, especially on planets. Alright, we've made the turn in this hulking vessel. And we should be ready. The mast lock should go off. The mast lock, if it's still on, it means that you're being locked by something in your vicinity that's bigger than you are. So for example, if a Sidewinder were to fly next to me, it would be mast locked by me. And you just need to fly away, and then you can click on J, or whatever your frame shift drive button is, and then you can frame shift to the other place where you need to go. In this case, Ombam Vivas for me. So we're here. Now I need to go to Cannon Orbital. So what you need to do is you need to go look at your left, go to the navigation tab, look for the station you want to find. If you can't find any station, it means that you need to go to the nav beacon. So if these are all just random, haven't found yet unidentified signals, then you just need to go to the nav beacon, scan it. So jump on it, scan it, and then you'll see everything. But in the bubble, this shouldn't really be a problem that you will deal with a lot. So now let's fly to Cannon Orbital. So once you get closer to a star system, I'm just assuming this is all new to you. Once you get closer to a star system, you need to actually lower your speed a little bit. And I'm going right past it because I went way too fast explaining everything. So I'm going to do the loop of shame here. You want to lower your speed, and you can keep your speed in the blue for the optimal route. Although, in my opinion, and in my experience, doesn't often do that. It sometimes still goes past, and you just need to kind of play with this. And then when you look to your left, over there, you can see the distance and the speed need to be in the blue. And then once they are in the optimal blue zone, then you can jump into Cannon Orbital. Don't get too close to the planet, because it will slow you down drastically. So it's better to just keep following the line, the orbital lines. Give a little bit extra gas, and then keep it in the blue, and then wait until the speed and distance are both in the optimal blue zone in that little corner. Alright. Once you're there, just click on J, and you will be in Cannon Orbital. Or, in this case, in your station that you're going to. Once you're within 7.5 kilometers of range, you can go to contacts. You can click on the starport, and then go to the right, and then click on request docking. It will always be approved unless there's no space, but I've never had that happen to me in large stations. There's basically always space. Now if you go slower, you can auto dock if you have that installed on your ship, but you don't have to do that. Although it can be annoying if it's on and you want to fly yourself while it's still on. But I prefer to just fly it in and then let the auto landing do its thing. like so. Alright, now that we're here, we're going to the commodities market. We're going to sell. We're going to sell all the things, and then for me it'll be a 700,000 profit. Like I said, I did not use Inara for this one. I just wanted to show you guys how to actually get to the location. So, that's basically it. That's all there is to it. That is trading. So it's not that difficult in terms of how it works in total, and once you've done it 5 or 6 times, you'll get the gist of it. Sometimes you'll need to be just keep in mind that the supply on an era is always more than what you have in stock, because or that you have in cargo capacity, because otherwise you're going there and then you can only bring half a cargo hold, and that kind of sucks. But other than that, I think this should cover everything. If I missed anything, please let me know, and I hope you guys enjoyed. And please do leave a like and subscribe. That will help out a lot. Alright, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.